we'd get out to take a look at the scenery, and she'd say, "Okay, let's have a look."
Yeah, the reason I like Pam's painting so much is because of the color mostly. Of course, I like the composition too, and I like the way she applies paint because every stroke is final, and it's as though she has calligraphy to me, because she knows ahead of time where she's going to place the stroke, and it's going to, even that stroke has an important message or something. And I just love her being my teacher too. I took with her for about a year when I was brave enough to get the courage up to do that. And she doesn't say very much, but the one thing she'll say to you makes you get it. Like one time she told me to put air in my painting, and I go, oh, I knew exactly what she meant. I didn't have enough space around the buildings or something, so I just loved it. And Jerry, I like his work because he's so brave, and he just goes for it, and he doesn't worry about the outcome. It really comes from inside, and I feel like somehow I can relate to him the most in a way, because he's just fearless, and sometimes I feel like I'm the same way. I don't care when I'm going to apply paint if I get a painting or not. That's not the why I'm painting. It's just for the feeling of it, and I want to feel the time of day, how the light's moving, all that, and Jerry just does that so well. So I admire both of them greatly. Big influence for me.
Okay, I remember seeing Pam's before I even met her, and it was very interesting because I always like to look at paintings and guess the person's age. And I looked at her paintings and I guessed a young person because of so much life and energy and joy in it. So it was at Kerwin's, I think, that I saw them. It was amazing. And then, I met her later, and she's joy. She's a very joyous person, always was. It's like amazing. So it was a privilege to paint with her and know her and be her friend.
Great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nikki. Jerry?
And as far as Jerry, let me see. How shall I be kind? Jerry, to me, as far as I'm concerned, is one of the best painters we have today. Don't ever let him hear that. I think the main strength is he's a colorist, and his colors are always just blow me away. He knows right on. He just knows where to put a certain shadow, color of a shadow, or what works next to what. It's like I know that today I know what doesn't work, but I'm not sure what to do for it to work. I have to flounder and struggle, and just seeing him do that is always amazing to me. Like his colors sing. So he's very powerful. He's a very strong, powerful painter. I can see his background. I can see his structural engineering in his, and it definitely has a strong structure suggestion. When we started painting, he used to say to me, he used to kind of criticize my what I call handwriting in my own painting, where I'm more fluttering around around the canvas. He stopped doing it, lucky for him. But it's just his signature, where Pam is different and I'm different, and I think that's what's so unique to everybody who paints his own soul.
That's right.
That's what it's all about.
That's right. Thank you so much, Nikki.
Okay.
They're where it is. They really are. As far as both Pam and Jerry and Nikki, they're where it is. I mean, there's just nobody like them. This is what we think.
Well, I think it's wonderful to see them all together and to see the contrasts, the differences, and the similarities, because they're both so colorful, but they have totally different styles, and they're both really exciting, I think. I love this, the orange in here, and the blues in Pam's, and then in Gerald's, the big planes of lights and darks, I think, are what's exciting. I don't know, I was looking at this one and I love the darks and then the light going down the street. But then it's such a contrast. Look, this dark one
next to this blossom, you know. But they both have a certain freedom that you see in both of their work.
Well, I've liked Pam Glover's work for many years. I mean, she's just the best, and I really love the way that she gets the bright color and depth in her paintings with all the freedom. And I'm sure everybody would say the same thing, just because she gets the color and the value and the depth in her paintings like no one else. Oh yeah, and Jerry's paintings, my God. I mean, he somehow sees all of these oranges and incredible color, both at sunset and in bright light. I was just trying to see which one I think I like the best, and I think it's that one we were talking about down at Virginia City, which is just amazing how simple it is. He's able to simplify the result and still get the great color and value. Amazing.
Yeah. Thank you, Leslie.
You're welcome.
Well, I think with Pam's, what inspires me is her brushwork. I think it's really expressive. And I think there's a happiness because her brushwork is so expressive. There's a liveliness and vitality about that. So I think that's what I appreciate about hers, and that kind of what inspires me about that. I think Jerry's, because I've been a fan of his for so long, I think what inspires me about that is that he's grown as an artist. I think a sign of a really creative artist is one who is constantly changing and redoing their work and re-looking at inspiration and brush and is not static. There's a real growth to creativity, and I think Jerry really expresses that. And the other thing that inspires me about him is how he is able to take simple shapes and build form and work with color and value. He gets to the essence of what the painting or the scene is about. He really tells the story.
What do you like about Pam's paintings?
I guess they're just so spontaneous, and the colors always all work, and it's just so exciting. There's always movement everywhere, the sky, the hills, the foreground, and it all works, always just works, you know, and you just kind of stop and you look, my gosh, look at that, it's just a brush stroke, but it's a house, you know, and you don't have to draw each little, you know, angle of the house, having it perfect. And it's just wonderful. Her art is just... And of course I'm partial because I'm a Pam Glover student, so I'm partial to her paintings, of course. So anyway, I mean, she's a very unique painter. Nobody paints like Pam. Don't you agree?
Yes. Yes.
She's absolutely... I mean, you can always pick a Pam's painting out of a room.
Right.
That's Pam.
Oh man, you know what it is? It's the sky against the stark. It's the starkness of it. It just, you feel like you're out in the middle of the desert, in the middle of nowhere. It's got that kind of almost eerie atmosphere to it. It's really interesting.
And they have taken all that art knowledge, study, and field work within themselves to find their own way to connect with the paint, the movement, the scenes, and the lights and the colors. And they paint what feels true to themselves, which is from their hearts and minds. Because of that, their work is very different from others. In Pam's works, it's joy, pure joy. In adversity, she finds a path to happiness. Even in the gray scenes of England, she wants bright colors. And that is such a wonderful gift she gives to everyone who sees and has her paintings. In Gerald's work, it's philosophical, spiritual thoughts and expressions, balanced in light and darkness, and includes humor. He is the master of his use of dark colors. To know happiness, one must know sadness. Darkness brings light. So I find his work timeless. I am so grateful to them for sharing their artworks with us.
We pull up to a place that looked interesting to paint.
Oh, okay.
And we get out to take a look at the scenery, and she'd say, okay, let's have a look. You know, a little bit of English.